Hey.
Forum, but for a few comments,
What's a but for?
it's best to just move on as opposed to highlight them.
This is true, Judge, but I am witnessing a building of momentum. And I'm encouraging the court to direct the state to tap down on that momentum so it does not reoccur and it does not become a theme. Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, for the record, the only thing the state has said to any of these witnesses when they get up is, would they like to say something on behalf of the victim they're representing? There's been no encouraging or inciting, as Mr. Weeks has put on this record. That is a blatant falsehood and a recreation of the record. As far as no objections being made, it's the defense that could have objected. It's not the state's duty to object to their own witnesses when they're testifying.
Okay. I listen, I've already heard. If you have anything else to say, you can put it in writing at a later time. I've heard from both sides more than once. That's going to be it. I've made my decision. Like I said, 99% of what's been testified to has been appropriate. I do not want to highlight the few things that were said that were perhaps not appropriate, and let's move on. You can have as many seconds as you want in writing, and you can put all of your objections in writing. They've been made multiple times from your chief assistant, from Ms. McNeil, and I don't want to hear anything else. I've already heard it. Is there something that has not already been argued?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, exactly what is it?
Judge, before Mr. Schachter took the podium and testified before this court, I wanted to reflect that both Mr. Marcus and Mr. Satz looked at the statement prior to the reading. And so their implicit adoption of what he was saying was improper arguments.
Okay, but what you are doing right now is highlighting something and making more of a spectacle. So if your office in general does not want to facilitate and or incite violence, then we need to just sit down and move on. That's it. There were 18 witnesses, 16 or 18 witnesses that testified today. There was nothing that was said until Ms. McNeil made her point made, and you know, we're moving on.
Made her point made?
Going to do anything about maybe stopping it from happening again.
When these people are upset about specific things that have gone on from that table, like shooting the middle finger up at this court and laughing and joking, Ms. McNeil, be quiet. When these people have sat in this courtroom and watched this behavior from that table, and they want to say that they're not happy about it, what is the problem?
Judge, I have no problem because I have thick skin. But once you bring in my children, I think that's highly improper.
I didn't even know you have children. I don't know what you're talking about. Your children? What about your children?
For them to comment on my children is highly improper. And for this court to allow that kind of testimony is also improper.
I don't remember any comments about any children. And if there was,
they didn't comment about your children. They commented about the defense children, like the defense team's children. I'm thinking it was pretty general. I doubt they're like, well, little Terry and Tina, like, come on.
The fact of facing your children, family members, and the society that surrounds you, when you confronted with the question, you victimized it and defended a child, an educator killer.
That's their job. They have to defend him.
You all. A school shooter. How about if someone like that comes to our school and kill us?
They have to do it.
That you gotta answer someday.
It's their fucking job.
It obviously didn't. It came and went without me noticing it.
Judge, I can assure you that if they were talking about your children, you would definitely notice it.
You need to sit down right now. You're out of line.
Sit down, fatso.
In fact, you're excused. You need to go sit in the back with your chief public defender.
He's the public defender.
Mr. Weeks, please ask the lawyer from your office to go sit down and not say anything else. To try to threaten my children.
He's lead public defender. Oh, what a bitch move though. What a bitch move by this guy though. He's lead public defender.
And bring up my children is inappropriate. Go to the back of the room now.
He didn't really do that, though. He didn't do
That
that.
just violated about every rule of professional responsibility
No,
that I have
no,
ever.
no.
I have never.
No.
If you're going to get up here and you're going to
Judge, I asked you to go.
Well, I never. No, it did. Okay, look, the judge is right to remove that guy because he was being a petulant dummy. Okay, she's right, but he didn't violate a single fucking ethical rule at all there. He didn't threaten your kids. He didn't do anything. What he pointed out was that I heard them threaten my kids. And if you had heard them threaten your kids, you would have heard it. You didn't hear it because it wasn't your kids. He's right there. He's right. And then she fucking goes ballistic on him. She should have removed him because she had asked him not to say anything else. She had asked him to file his objections in writing. When the judge says that, your objection is on the record, and then you go ahead and you make your objection in writing. It sucks, but you got to suck that down. You've got to not be a petulant child about it. And when she says your chief public defender, be like, lead public defender. You need to stop. She lost, but now you're losing. Stop being a loser. Look, I have been yelled at by a judge in chambers. I've been yelled at by a judge in court. And you just sit there and you just sit there and wait for them to finish. And when they're finished, you then move the fuck on, because a judge who's mad is going to yell, and there's no benefit to you at the time for now. Depending on where you are in the trial, it might be beneficial to get the judge mad enough to hold you in contempt or whatever, get you thrown out, make a big fucking spectacle. You're at sentencing. You're at victim impact statements. Your job right now is to basically shut your mouth. You've got mandatory life without parole coming to this kid anyway. None of this has any impact. You sit there, you file your objections in writing. You've made your objections on the record. You go for your appellate points or whatever you're going to do, which isn't really going to work with this guy, but you need to fucking stop. And, yeah, I don't know. She needs to stop licking those lips, though. Oh, my goodness. Judge, what are you doing? Stop that. This is not the right internet channel for this.
Go sidebar on this matter.
You, sidebar or not, you don't have one of your assistant public defenders say something about my children?
Stop
Judge,
it.
that same venom that the court is expressing is the same venom that defense counsel had to sit through this entire morning when
She
their
brought
children
up her children
being
multiple
referenced.
times during the trial. Nobody knows if I'm barren or not. They don't know
Judge.
about my children.
Judge.
Sit down.
Judge.
Nobody knows if I'm barren or not? Well, holy shit. I think we just learned the answer to that one. Fuck. Woo. Well, guys, I got good news for you. You may not have to put a second skin on that hot dog.
Sit down, Mr. Weeks.
Please do not summarily dismiss me.
I'm summarily dismissing
asking
you.
the
Go
court.
sit down.
I'm asking the court. I asked the court to go sidebar.
Go sit down. You don't threaten the
Judge,
court's children.
everyone
Your
in this
assistant just
courtroom-
did that. Go sit down.
No one in this courtroom had to endure what we had to
Go
endure.
sit down. Miss McNeil has
This man, actually, though, let's give some props to this guy. Level-headed comes up and tries to explain it. First of all, he would have said, Your Honor, no one threatened your kids. That's the point. No one threatened your kids. They threatened our kids. They threatened our children. They invoked our children. They didn't invoke yours. The previous guy getting dismissed was right because he was disobedient to a very direct and very reasonable point by the court. You got to say your thing. Well, this guy got to say the thing. The state responded. That's it. You don't get a rebuttal if the court doesn't grant you one. Now she's fucking off the rails. She's off the rails, and this is completely improper. Very, very inappropriate of the judge at this point. And that's been kind of a theme, I think, throughout this trial. And that was one of the criticisms of this judge, is that she's very, very young and maybe inexperienced and not ready for a trial like this.